Good morning, my beloved. I have a question for you today. What has helped you? I have been doing this for about 3 years now and have covered a lot of material, some things more than once probably, but I want to know what I've said that has helped you. As I transition to YouTube and probably TikTok and Spotify and different things, I want to know what I've said that's helped you. You know, the greatest thing you can get from an audience that you're speaking to is not a standing ovation. The greatest response you can get from someone you are speaking to, someone you have shared with, is that there would be action. Something you said caused them to change an action in their life. They stopped doing something, they started to do something. It's been my privilege to help several people. Oh my goodness. It's been my honor to help several people to write books. So, what have I said in 3 years that has helped you, that has caused you to see life differently, that has caused you to do life differently? Again, the greatest gift you can give a speaker, someone who's shared their heart, given a testimony, shared at your church or whatever, isn't a standing ovation and it's not money. The greatest gift you can give that speaker is that your life was changed by it. Something moved, something was different. So I want to know what have I said, and it may take you a little bit because, like I say, I've been doing this for 3 years. I want to know what caused you to go, that was good, that impacted me, that helped me, that changed the way I saw something. It allowed me to, make a step forward in something that I've always wanted to do. And so again, I know I've covered lots of things in those 3 years, and I got a lot of more that I'd like to share. But I want to know as I reach a new audience, even, I'm going to have to do some things again for the new audience. I'd really like to know what it is that has impacted you, what it is that caused you to go, I'm going to keep listening to him. You know, we've been growing and growing, and y'all have been very, very good about sharing with others and giving me a thumbs up. I know when I have had the opportunity to look at the number of people who have watched one of the greatest times people watched, where we reached almost 10,000 people, was when I talked about living a life of no regrets. So I know that'll be something I want to share. Another thing that I got a lot of reviews on was when I talked about helping people through loss, because we're all going to lose someone, and it's such a beast of an issue. And because nobody talks about it, we all are, left to struggle through it ourselves without any wisdom, without any understanding. And so I know I will share on helping people through the loss of a loved one, and especially the hard cases where they took their life, or you had a bad discussion before they left, and then their life was taken before you had a chance to apologize. The tough things are really, really hard to get through like that. But I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter whether you were ready for them to go, they've been ill for years, or whether you didn't know and they were killed in an accident, just a few minutes after you visited with them. It's hard no matter what. And I have found that we just need to talk about that, even though a lot of people don't want to. That's why we have to keep going through it again and again. I have been able to help so many individuals. I want to make sure that I share that with a new audience. So I would like to know, and you can message me personally or you can message the group, it doesn't matter to me. Just tell me what you have heard in the last 3 years. What's one of those aha moments for you? What was something that was said or something that I shared that really caused you to go, I never saw that way, or that really confirmed in me and helped me to make that next step, or to ask for forgiveness, or to step out and try that new job or try that new thing? What was it that I said? What was it that was covered that was important to you and allowed you to move forward, allowed you to change your thinking. I don't want to take a whole lot of time today. I just want to know what I've said that's helped you. I would hate to think that I spent 3 years communicating, even about communication, and nothing stuck, nothing really, changed in your life because of it. I don't want to just inspire people. That's a little better than a New Year's resolution. I want to see people transformed. I want to see people changed. I've said from the beginning of this, I'm placed on this earth to challenge, to believe for positive change, and to be your cheerleader. So I've tried to do that in everything that I do. And ultimately, my goal would be for you to enjoy the life you've been given, for you to live your life better, where you love the life that you live and you live the life that you love. Because we only get one shot at it. You don't. This is not a pre-rehearsal for another time. You don't get to come back and try it again, no matter what they teach you. When this life is over, it's over, and you only had one shot to write that book or write that song or sing that song or try that business adventure. I'm this whole idea of me going to YouTube, and we've tried to make that as easy as we can. If you'll go back to last Monday's message, we've given you ways for you to click and go right to it and get involved really easily. If I can help you with that, if you'll let me know, hey, that didn't work for me or whatever, we will try to make it as easy as possible, because I really want you to come with me and help me continue to reach individuals. But it's really important to me that I know what was said. And, again, maybe it wasn't the way it was said, but the content of what was said really got to you. So I want you to help me help others by letting me know, what did you hear? What was the aha moment, the big takeaway, the issue that nobody else talked about maybe and I did? I would really love for you to either message me personally or through the group. If it's not, something that's going to embarrass you, I really want to know what I can do. I appreciate the comments already. There were several who were at church yesterday and I spoke, and Angie's already told me it was a wonderful message. I appreciate that so much. Now, again, I don't speak just to speak. I'm glad it was a wonderful message. What I would want others to say is what made it wonderful. What was the thing that stuck with you? What is it that caused you to go, that was a great message? Like, maybe it's the first time you heard the leadership covenant. Maybe it's the first time you heard about the 5-day rule. I don't know if I've ever taught about the 5-day rule, so while I got a second, I'll go ahead and teach it. Here at Victory Life, the leadership has made a covenant agreement one with another as a leadership team. We don't ask it of the body. We hope that they would, want to live that way. But as leaders, we've made a covenant agreement, an unbreakable agreement, that we will walk in what we call the 5-day rule. And what that amounts to is, if one of the leaders offends another leader, we only have 5 days to deal with that issue between us and God. And if we can get it dealt with, and God can show us how to forgive, and it no longer bothers us, and we can go on in the relationship and it hasn't affected it in any way, then we'll just deal with it between us and God. But if after 5 days it's still an issue and we're still struggling with it, we have to go to that individual and share his fault, his error, what he did that hurt us so bad. We only have 5 days to do that. If we wait till 7 or 8 or a month later to say, hey, you really hurt me when you said this or when you did this, then our transgression is worse than theirs, because we made a covenant that we would not wait longer than 5 days. And that has kept this church from any church splits. And it has allowed hundreds of restored relationships before the enemy was able to make a big deal out of it. Too many times we let things get in our heart and fester, and it's one brick on top of another. The sad thing is, if that other individual does not know that they hurt you by what they said or by what they did, they're probably going to hurt you again because you didn't let them know they hurt you. So they don't have any idea that that comment or that gesture or that action that they had hurt you. And because they don't know, they're liable and probable to do it again. And so that 5 day rule has saved Victory so much heartache because we don't have relationships that go south. We don't have individuals that harbor things for weeks and months and years and then blow up on somebody over things that have been stewing for all that time. You know, I've been in this long enough to know that the longer you let a transgression go against you, the more and time spent with that issue not being dealt with, the more opportunity the enemy is and has in your heart to convince you everything you did was right and everything they did was wrong. But I've been in the ministry long enough and dealt with so many thousands of individuals. There's his way of seeing it, her way of seeing it, and somewhere in the middle, what actually happened. All of us, without realizing it, we see it from our fishbowl, from our viewpoint. We can't see it from their viewpoint. We can only see it from ours. And what happens over time is you can convince yourself you did no wrong. What I realize most of the time, both parties have not responded correctly and has created the issue. So we have a 5 day rule. If somebody offends me, I have only 5 days. And if anybody knows me at all, I cannot wait 5 days. I can't wait 5 minutes. I love people and I don't want anything to come between me and them. So I will go to them almost immediately and say, hey, I should be bigger than this. This shouldn't affect me like it does, but it did. And I need you to know that thing that you said really hurt me, or that thing that you did really made me feel like, you know, you were trying to hurt me or trying to cause me to get angry or whatever. And almost every single time, it's a misunderstanding. It's a word that they said that meant something different to me than it did to them, or they didn't have any idea that that's how it came across or whatever. But we're able to nip it in the bud before it ever has a chance to blossom and bloom and become a real problem. So I appreciate the comment. Claudia said she has heard me talk on the 5 day rule. So evidently I've done that before. You get a second shot at it. One thing I know about the Lord is if you're hearing something for the second time or the third, it's just God's way of saying you probably didn't get it the first time. So please, please, please let me know what I have said, what I have done that has caused change in your life, that has caused you to learn something you didn't know before. And you can let me know personally if you have my, my cell number, or message me personally on Facebook, or you can send it with the group and they'll be gracious. And I would be eternally, eternally grateful. So I'm going to say hi again to a few folks. Nathan, you're always so faithful. I love you so much. Jessica, Claudia, thank you so much. Let me get over here and see if I can make this move. Yep, I guess I can. Trey, love you, my friend. Tabby, Tabby, I just love Randy coming to me yesterday. I understand exactly what happened, and I'm grateful. Janelle, Angie, Karen, Gary, Trey again, Jimmy, David, bless y'all so much. Rachel, Mary Lou, Portia, Jim, Summer, Jack, love y'all so much. Look forward to seeing you next Monday.